another minute or two. There is a list going around. If you can pick your name, and if you're not on the list, please add your details so I can just keep in touch with you. In the meantime, I'm waiting for maybe a bit late, a couple of minutes. Can I check how many of you are PhD students? That's good. How many are early career researchers like postdocs? Okay. Any lecture? Okay. So you know. So just to let you know, we're going to stream this session and also record it. You're not going to be in the camera, so it's just going to be me and the PowerPoint, and Nelly is going to talk in a second. But just to let you know, everything is possible. Everything you're going to ask is going to be recorded. There are at the moment 17 people watching us. That's quite exciting because it's the first time that we actually stream live. And it's also going to be recorded and put on the website. So everything you missed, everything you're not sure, you can rewatch it or just check the PowerPoint. And I think I'm just going to start. So I'm just going to say welcome to everyone. I'm Eleonora Gandolfi, and I'm working in the international office. And my title is really long title. It's International Networks and Collaborator Administrator. But essentially, I'm actually looking after WN Network. That stands for Worldwide University Network. And as a start, I just invite Ellie Dixon. She's from Geography and she's a lecturer. She got awarded exactly a year ago. She went in Australia and she just came in to talk about her experience over there and our project is actually going on. Can I just let them?
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Eleonora. So this is just an overview of some of the work that I did in Australia. It was about a year ago now. And I went out to the University of Western Australia in Perth. And I started up collaboration with these people here. They're in the geography department. I didn't know any of them before I started looking into the loan scheme. So it was really good to expand my network of contacts and increase my international scope on the research I was doing. So we came up with a project together that we were going to look at, which is slightly different to the level you're at. If you're doing a PhD, then you want to come up with a side project which is going to have some value to what you're doing throughout your thesis research. If you're a postdoc, again, it may be a postdoc project you're already working on, and with the lecturers you've got kind of free rein in terms of what you want to research on. So we looked at water issues, water vulnerability across the wheat belt in Western Australia. Water's a really big problem, access to both quantities of water and the quality. They have severe problems with salinity issues in Western Australia. So we wanted to look at how the rapidly changing population was coping with these pressures on decreased water supply across this region. So my collaborators in Western Australia had a diverse range of expertise in terms of what their strengths were, kind of environmental sustainability, the more quantitative side of geography, and the more social side of geography as well. So together we had a really good team that could look across this issue that we wanted to investigate. So I went out in January last year. I was on sabbatical, so I could take the time to go. I stayed there for a month. The time you go will vary on the type of application you're going to give. PhD students, I think, can go for slightly longer than postdoctorals and academic staff. So it was really productive time because I was just focused on this project for the whole month, and I didn't have any other distractions from any other research that was going on back here. In Australia it's particularly good too because you're in a completely different time zone, so by the time you've answered all of your emails in the morning when you get to work, you don't get another email from people back in the UK until the next day, so it was good to have no distractions. So Perth campus is lovely. If any of you are looking at different campuses to go to, it's a really nice environment to go and study in, and I think the best bit of advice I can give you is to start early on trying to find your collaborators, the people you want to work with. It will take quite a long time to start communications going and get the ball rolling on research projects, and also ensure that they're enthusiastic about you visiting. So the last thing you want to do is go to another university and they're just going to sit you at a desk somewhere and have no interaction with you being there in the project you're working on. So do make sure they're enthusiastic about both you visiting and the project that you'll be working on together. So just to sum up really on the research, this has resulted in, I went back to present the research at a conference in Australia that was actually held in Perth again last July, and I presented the research that we've done. We also developed some new contacts within kind of the stakeholder arena and the policy implications, impact of the research locally. So we had meetings with them to kind of disseminate our ideas and get some more input. Also, we're currently writing a paper for publication in a high impact journal, and I've just submitted the Research Development Fund application, which is a one-funded project which is available for academic staff. So that will be expanding our network even further. It'll be working with these people again, but also people from Sydney University and Auckland University, as well as some local stakeholders within the Asia Pacific region. So that will be a different project. So kind of altogether, this project's really given me a great grounding for expanding my international research remit, and I think it's really valuable for you guys to apply for it and have the opportunity to go and study and work abroad somewhere within the One Network. So I'm going to dash off, but if anybody's got any specific questions about this project, yeah?
Probably not specific to that project. You mentioned that you didn't know people before you joined. So how have you contacted? So
that's a good question. I basically looked at all the geography departments within the One Network, so looked at the various institutions and tried to find people and their research remit that was similar to what I do within my field of research. And I contacted, Brian was my key contact there. I contacted him, and then he replied with a really enthusiastic reply and said, actually we've also got some other staff here, Natasha and Julian, who would be interested in collaborating with you as well on this project. And then it all evolved from there. So it's really kind of down to you to do the initial searches and find the best staff that you think will give you a positive response. And yeah, I think just email them or phone them and just see if they're receptive to you visiting them for a period of time. Yeah.
Before to go, you need to have a specific project, or you can write down.
We're just going to go through it in a second.
She'll go through that.
So don't worry, I'm just going to cover it. It's just to introduce because.
Yeah. So I didn't have a specific project for me personally. I had specific ideas, but we evolved the project together. If you're doing a PhD, you're already going to be working on a particular project, and you probably want kind of a side project where maybe the people you go and work with have expertise in the field that's necessary. Maybe you want to do some, I don't know, some statistical analysis or something, some methodological research which your advisors here aren't necessarily experts in, but the collaborators that you could have through the One Network could provide that expertise and advance a particular sub-project within your overall thesis. Okay? So yeah, Eleanor is going to give you some more details anyway on that too. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. So this was just a quick introduction of aside how your research can evolve. I'm just going to go a little bit in depth and cover how you can apply and what actually WN is. Before starting, I just want to ask you, because a lot of people arrived a little bit when we already started, how many of the PhD students are in the first or second year? How many in the third? Okay, sorry, just to know more or less. So just to start, what is WN? How many of you know what WN is? That's good. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so WN stands for Worldwide University Network. And what it is actually a series of universities that put their forces together to try to do research and spread research, increase mobility, and let you have the opportunities actually to go from a university to another one to try to enhance your degree and your research, to grow with the university as well. So those are actually our WN partners. So it's the university where you can go to apply for the research mobility program. But by the end, I'm just going to show you a different type of funds that could actually be available for your research if your preferred partner is not within the WN. Unfortunately, you can't just email me asking, can this university I want to work here with, can they join WN network? It's not that easy. It just involves more people, like vice chancellor, so it's not that I can just send an email to the chair and just let other university to the network. But you can probably have other opportunities and different funds available to you. So what WN is doing is actually put collaboration and try to increase links across different disciplines and across different universities without trying to, no matter where this university is, you can actually join and participate and create. What it's doing is like leading a collective voice to work together to create something else. It's also networking, so you can still, we have a lot of researchers that through the RMP, they went, I don't know, to Australia, and then they found a postdoc there, and then they found a lectureship. So there is a lot of movement of staff and PhD students within the network. And you can also bring your expertise together, meet different people that in a different institution they are actually working on the same or similar projects. You can do research together, and you can also learning something from a different university background or country. WN is based on, well, works on 4 main areas that are called global challenges that, of course, every year we decided to rename and be more specific or change and adapt everything. So now we have the global public health and non-communicable diseases, where Southampton leads, as well as responding to climate change, and then there are understanding culture and global higher education and research. So everything is on the website. If you want to see which project we actually are working on at the moment as WN and which kind of collaboration there are, please go on the website. There is a list of all ongoing and past projects. And if you find something that can actually match your, this actually could be a tool to see which other institution or which other department or which other staff are doing similar things, or works on projects that can actually match with your research. So talking about the research mobility program, that is actually why you're here today. This is for PhD students, early career researchers, and by early career researchers I mean within the first 6 years of your lectureship or postdoc students. Those are just 6 of previous awardees. The fund started in 2001, and we have many PhD, 2002, sorry, that actually went abroad. What actually funds a period of study that could be up to 6 months to a WN partner institution. So it needs to be one of the partners that was in the initial list. I'm saying up to 6 months doesn't mean that you can, we are going to find you to stay 6 months, for example, in Australia, because there needs to be a good reason for you to stay there. If you say, I'm going to go there, do research, go in the lab, and then write an article, well, while you're writing the article, you can actually come back here. So maybe usually the average projects are around maximum 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. So it means 6 to 8 weeks in a different institution. And then you can come back and then you have 6 months total working on the project. So there is no restriction on application. There is no specific subject. Doesn't matter what you're studying. It could be medicine, biology, humanities studies. It could be archaeology. It could be ocean. You can study something relating with the ocean down the knock. Doesn't matter. You can apply. And for this particular fund, it doesn't need to respect one of the global challenges. So it doesn't need to, to be in within one of those categories. Of course, if you actually match a bigger project, it would be easier for you to look for, I don't know, postdoc or a long-term collaboration, but doesn't mean that you're not going to be funded, so don't worry. And the idea behind this is to start or continue establishing new collaboration and new researchers. So what you can actually do while you're abroad, you can discover new idea techniques. So we have, for example, a student who got funded to go abroad and work on cells and microorganisms in another institution. You can actually expand your research network. So it means that you're traveling to a different institution and see how other PhD, postdoc, or lecturer are actually working, and build up your collaboration that can actually take you to a bigger project or bigger funding as Ellie did. So she's expanded her research network. You can straighten your career profile. So this could actually something that you can put in your CV. I'm thinking more about early career, PhD and postdoc students. So you can put, if you be funded to go somewhere else, and we had PhD then in the past, so postdoc then in the past found a postdoc position in another WN institution or a lectureship after that, because they build a network of people they work with. You can study new environment experience. For example, these are particular PhD students went abroad because he was studying a China market, so he went actually travel to China, and he went to visit a different institution to see how they work the market over there. Or you can learn in world-class facilities. So if there is a lab or specific things, University of Southampton doesn't have here, you can actually travel with a host institution and use their facilities to finish your research, or improve your research, or discover something new. So how the application process works. It's not that long and it's not that hard. So we have a pot of money every year. There is like £30,000, and we divide it in two different calls. So the deadline is, first one is 30th of November, the second one is the 15th of March. So even if you're here today, you can apply either for the 30th or for 15th of March or the year after. You need to have an approval from your supervisor in case you are PhD students, or the head of academic unit in case you are a postdoc or a lecturer. So they need to be happy for you to leave for a period of time and not be here in Southampton. When you're abroad, this period of time that you spend abroad is not going to extend your contract. So if you have a postdoc contract of 2 years, you're not going, and you spend a month abroad, it's not going to be 2 years and a month. It's just going to be within the 2 years. And the same things with the PhD, unless you're not going to interrupt. But in that case, it means that if you have a scholarship, you're not going to get the scholarship while you're interrupting. So in case you are PhD students, it's your supervisor that should contact the host institution. And this is because, well, when you finish your research, we want this link to continue, so the other PhD student can actually join and do research and continue working the project. In case you are a postdoc or lecturer, feel free to contact someone directly in the institution. The application is on the website. If for any reason you can't open or download, please drop me an email at wn@southampton.ac.uk, and I can just send you the doc file directly. So what you need to do to be successful? Well, first of all, just go back and have a chat with your supervisor and the section, because it's possible that you're not aware of, but they already have the contact somewhere else in another institution, and they can help you. In case that you're a PhD student, ask them to contact their contact or the person that you would like to work with in the other institution. Prepare an application, and please attach all the documents, because otherwise I need to contact you back, and then it's going to take longer to process. And just submit the application to me by the deadline, please. So if you're funded, you're going to be notified within a month. So because of the November deadline, I will try to notify you before Christmas. So before Christmas holidays, you will know if you've been successful or not. And the award should be taken up within 9 months. So it means that within 9 months, you should start your research. So once you've been successful, you're going to receive a letter, and there's going to be on the back of this award letter, there's going to be all the details how you can claim your award, and you're going to be directed for, I don't know, what you need to do in case. So you need an insurance, or you need a visa. We're going to direct you in the right place, so do not worry. And then I also, we usually have an RMP briefing before you leave, so I can give you the information about the institution that you're going to visit, just to help you maybe to find accommodation, or just to know where you're actually going. And once you return, you will need to submit a report. That for PhD students is divided in 3 parts, and for postdoc and lecturers just 2 parts. And it's more to see what you actually work on, just to check if you're happy with your research, the research where you've done that, and to see if something else really good came up for you. And please let us know if you're successful, and this collaboration is going to be going on after this funds. Let us know everything is happening. If you publish something, you went to a conference, or you applied for a bigger fund, a pot of money. And this is not because I really want to know what you're doing in your private life or like in your academic life. It's just to double check and put those data together, so to show that this is actually something valuable for you, so that everyone else in the future will be able to apply for it. So other opportunities. And here I need to say, well, I'm just going to say after this. So for PhD students, if you're thinking to collaborate with someone, it could be a company or a university in Europe that is not on the list, please think about other schemes like Erasmus scheme. Erasmus cover work placement up to 3 months within a European institution, or even a company to do your own research. Please think about that, because you can actually have fun through them. Or study abroad, so you can still spend a period of time. It could be a semester or a full year abroad. It just depends if we have a link or an agreement with a particular institution, but it means that you can take a full academic year if your supervisor is happy with it in a different institution. But this is an opportunity for you. Or we have a Global Partnership Awards. In that case, it's not open for PhD students directly, so you can apply, but you can actually say, go to your supervisor and say, oh, I want to collaborate with an institution that is not a WN partner. Why are you not applying to the Global Partnership Award, and put my name within the research? So you can help your supervisor actually to maybe to write the application and write the project, but then you can collaborate and you can apply to include you in a bigger project. And for early career researcher lecture, there are, well, as well, Erasmus teaching exchange, so it means that you can go to different institutions to have a teaching break, and in the meantime you're there, you can actually build a network of contacts. Or you can apply directly to the Global Partnership Award, so those cover all other institutions. So you can still apply within a WN institution for a little bit more money, but it covers everyone else that is not WN. And talking about this picture, because I haven't mentioned at the beginning, on top of working at the international office, I'm also doing a part-time PhD. And I apply as everyone else to get funding. So I had funding to go to Western Australia. So the one with the little, that's me with a little Indiana Jones hat. So I apply with the University of Western Australia to have money, because I'm working on recording and digital recording of rock art. So I work with I went to my supervisor, sent him an email, said, oh, look at this is an interesting fund, what do you think? And he said, oh, to tell the truth, I have a guy who was I have a mate in Western Australia, who was doing the PhD in Southampton, he's now in Western Australia, and we actually thought about years ago to collaborate on something. And then he copied me in the email, and this, because he already had a contact there, we actually applied for money from the University of Western Australia. We got the money, we need a little bit extra money to cover our flight, and then apply for the RMP. So this is how the network works. So this is why I'm suggesting to PhD students, go to your supervisor first. They might know already someone that can actually fit with your research somewhere else in a WN partner institution. And what actually came up was 2 publications 2 conferences. So I flew last year, went back to Australia to present a conference there, and then there was another conference at SEA, the Society for Archaeology in America. So I presented there, and then we are just submitted the British Academy Small Grant Fund, and we're planning for a bigger research involving more people in our department and across Europe and the world. So as you can see from 2 weeks, I just went 2 weeks there collecting information and working with the community. It's just growing and growing and growing. And because I already work in this project, I met people working in Canada, so I can extend my network research over there. And just meeting more people. This is why it's a great opportunity for you. Best time to go abroad is to plan to go abroad is the first and second year. So if you're in the third year, it would be a little bit more difficult. And this is because you should write your dissertation at this point in time. This fund should help you and just give you a different, completely view of what you're doing. And this is what I actually had. I had a series of ethical issues that I never considered because I always work in a European context and never work with living community like Aboriginal community. While arriving there, my entire PhD completely changed direction. If you are in your third year, it would be really difficult for you to change everything, or you need to start again from scratch. That is not really convenient for you if you're in the third year. It depends which point of your third year you are in. You should also have a letter from your supervisor that stated that you're going to be finishing on time, because we don't really want to extend your PhD. We don't really want to, because probably you're running out of money at this point in time. The scholarship is going to end soon. This is why you should apply for something else. So maybe an Erasmus grant if you're working within Europe, or a global partnership award that you can be added to. It would be the best for you. But you can still apply, it's just that it would be more difficult, or you need to make a really strong case why you should leave at this point of your PhD, and what actually this exchange could, or this project could actually take into your PhD. So if you go back and something is not clear, please have a look at the website. Drop me an email. We have a Twitter account, feel free. I'm always on the other side, so feel free to email me, give me a call, or send a message on Twitter. I'm there. Is there any question? Yes.
Again, me. So quickly about eligibility, it's clear about PhDs, again about lecturers and postdocs. You said
within it's early career, so it should be within 6 months. 6 years. So 6 years when you start your lectureship.
And 6 years
so
after you...
Or your postdoc, or 6 years from your appointment as a lecturer.
Okay.
This is more or less the range. Then if it's like 6 years and after 7, okay. But if it's like 10 years and you're a senior lecturer, that would be not eligible. But you can apply for a global partnership award in that case. So it's a little bit for, yes.
Where can we find a complete list of the WUN partnership universities?
On the website.
Okay.
So if there are 2 things you can do, go on the University of Southampton website, the one that was attached in this invitation. There was for more information, check our website, or you can literally type on Google WN, and it just came up with the WN branded website, and then there is a list of partners institutions. So you have the 2 options, or just have a look at this presentation.
No, but the slide that you showed, was that a complete list, or was it just...
Yes, that's a complete list.
Oh, that's a complete list.
It's just because, well, it's a complete list, and now it can change next year. Might have someone else join the network, or someone leaving the network, who knows, at this point in time. But those are the universities that you can apply to at this point in time. Yes, please.
Do you want to specify in the application the exact dates that we're applying to the university?
Well, suggested day would be appreciated. You can still change, so if for any reason something happened and you can't leave, for example in March, and you want to leave in June, just let me know. Because for PhD students, the funds works a little bit in different ways. So as soon as you need to buy your ticket, once you're going to be awarded, you need to buy your ticket to prove that you're actually going to go, and you receive a full check with the entire month of money, because you need to complete the budget as a part of your research. For staff member, it's just against receipt, so you just need to claim back receipt.
So for postdocs, how does it work?
It's staff. So postdoc, lecturer, staff member, PhD students, as
So do we have some flexibility to decide on the exact date?
Yeah, the only thing that I ask, and I suggest to everyone, please put your budget and write your budget carefully, because I have in the last couple of years, doesn't matter how much you're asking, if it's justified. It's not that if you ask less money, if you ask £1,000 instead 2,000, you're gonna be. It's not. You're gonna be funded. It's based on the project. It's not based on how much money you ask. So please budget carefully. If you need extra £200, I prefer you to put in an application form, and then be sure that you're going to arrive at the end, more than just email me back again and say, actually, I did my budget wrong. Because in that case, it will be more difficult to extend it. It need to be approved by the panel, so it's a little bit more tricky. But if you budget everything in advance, it should be fine.
So the budget includes what, just travel and accommodation?
Travel, accommodation, and subsistence.
So and any consumables, for example, practical research?
In that case, usually is the faculty who help with it. Because this is just for travel, accommodation, and subsistence while you're there, not for consumable. We usually ask faculty to contribute with that. Yeah.
If a student gets funded, the project can start immediately.
Sorry?
If a student gets funding, the project can start immediately, or is?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as, for example, in Ellie's case, she got awarded. She got a letter saying that she was awarded on 20th of December. She left 3rd of January. Because she knew that she had only that period of time to do research because she was in sabbatical, so she literally left a few weeks after we awarded her. So it's entirely up to you. Of course, the flight is going to be more expensive, so you need to think which is the best moment for you to go there. You need to also check the other university when they are happy for you to go. So there is a series of things you need to take into account when you write the budget. But as soon as you got the letter, you can literally buy after 5 minutes that you got the letter, the ticket, and it's fine. You start your project.
Perhaps I missed it. So theoretically, the project can start after 1 month.
You can even start after a day if you're happy to fly after a day. So as soon as you've been awarded and you have, I'm just going to send you an email saying congratulations, you've been awarded. You can start to book your. And you can literally fly the day after, the following day. Doesn't matter.
Thank you.
You just mentioned that apart from subsistence and travel and accommodation, the faculty arranges something. Which faculty did you mean, the host faculty or?
No, it's Southampton.
Southampton faculty arranges?
Yeah, it's not the host. Well, unless they're happy for you. It depends on the project. So, for example, when I went to Australia, we paid the flight, and the money were coming from a different project that was awarded from UWA, so University of Western Australia, and then we had extra funding from somewhere else, so the community put a little bit of money. So it just depends your project. So we had in the past project that been awarded, so we paid for the flight accommodation, subsistence costs, and anything else was covered by the other faculty. It could be covered by Southampton, it could be half and half. It depends case to case. Yes?
About the application, the host supervisor needs to do lots of paperwork, or this one's straightforward?
No, it's just, so you will need to do, so the person applying, doesn't matter if you're a PhD or a staff member, you just need to do your own work. The only thing that the supervisor needs to do is just put a statement saying, I support these students going abroad. It just depends what they want to do, but it's more to know that they are happy for you to go. They're supporting you to go, and they're supporting the project. Yes?
How about overheads? Some universities charge overheads. Is it
So it works as a exchange. So I don't know, everything you pay here as a PhD, you pay here. When you go there, you don't pay anything. Because it's like, you just go there, it's an agreement that is within the university. So I know that, I think in the past, only we had students going to Penn State, and they got asked to do just a training, health and safety training, working in labs. And I think they charge something like $50 for the insurance for them to work. So it just depends, because like, that was the only case out of 100 or over 200 we funded that actually got a charge.
And did they put that on? Did they charge that to the?
I think the faculty from Southampton cover the $50. Yes.
What kind of criteria do the panel use for deciding which projects are approved, which ones aren't?
Quality of the project. So it means if your research makes sense, if it's a sensible research, if they can see that there are outputs coming up, and it's not more you trying to find a postdoc somewhere else. It's like, I really want to go there because I really want to go to Australia because I want to go surfing. Doesn't work. You're not going to get funded. But if it just makes sense because you're working on it and they actually improve your research within Southampton, it's going to get funded. Or if there is already a collaboration going on, or if it's a new collaboration within it could be like interdisciplinary, so it could be within departments. If there is something there, a lab or equipment that we don't have in Southampton, and you need to go in another institution to use it. It's really broad. While in my case, I can't really move, rock art here, so I really need to go there. I have no choice. In that case, it was a new link. But then it just depends on and we already got funded before, so it's just a tiny amount. In case of Ellie, it was the first collaboration that started, so there were no collaboration going on. In case of Penn State, we had students that already went there as a part of a bigger project, and we still have PhD students after 5 years going and work on the same, more or less, context, just looking at it from a different angle. So there is no, the right or wrong answer. It just, if you can justify why you need to go there and what it can actually, how it can actually change your academic career, I'm sure you got funded.
So related to this, are panel members going to be experts in the field or not necessarily? So should we aim to write a proposal in an expert terminology language or more?
Well, there is, I don't know if you had a look on the website, so in the application form there is going to be, you need to write something like 100 words in non-specific language, and this is because just to have an idea, just a general idea, for everyone is not an expert. And then there are more specific questions, how you're going to do your project, and then it could be in a specific language. There is a more or less a representative of each faculty, and even if they're not sitting in the panel, they see the application and they just send the comments. So don't worry, it's not that if you are a humanities students or medicine students, they're going to be advantage or disadvantage by it. Other question? Yes.
Is there a way to, is there any information on the existing or previous collaborations that have been conducted between Southampton and the Wales University Network?
Okay, so if you go on the website, if you go on the website, the one that was also on the email that circulated for more information, in there is if you scroll down at the end of the page, there is a link on previous awarded projects, and then there are all awarded projects since 2002 over there. Most of them has the blurb, so you just kind of know what's being funded. It's not just the title, but most of them has, well, there is a title, host institution, keywords, just to give you an idea, the project, and most of them has the blurb as well, so you know already more or less which type of collaboration. Yeah, but they are really quite broad. So we're funding from medicine, social science to humanities, psychology, languages. So yes.
Yeah, something in relation to the methods. Is it mainly for a quantitative qualitative as well, research. Anything.
Yes, as long as it makes. So you need to explain why you want to go there, and as clear as possible, because then the panel can understand. Oh, this makes sense. Doesn't matter what you're going to do. We send students in. We have a student now in University of Alberta, and she is studying and doing research and doing interviewing people for her PhD, so she can come back, collect the data, and analyze them. But then I went and worked with communities. There's a completely different approach. And then we have someone working in Penn State, or we send them medicine students working on cancer research over there. So it's a completely broad range, so it doesn't matter as long as it fits with your PhD students. Of course, if you're studying medicine and you said, oh, I'm just going to do, I want to go to Cape Town to improve my, I don't know, Arabic, that doesn't really fit with your PhD. Any other question? Yes.
Maybe if we're building collaborations, can we also invite people from the other universities to come to South Africa?
Well, with this one, we just wanted to go there.
Okay.
Because we don't really want to bring people in. It's more for you to go and visit another institution, because it's what the added value you traveling there and meet a new community more than bringing someone in. But then they might going to be able to find money to fly here before.
Could somebody from another line university though use this scheme at their own university to come here?
Yeah.
Do that?
But you can't apply from here to bring them. So you can't apply to Southampton to bring someone from Perth or Sydney here. So they will need to apply to the similar scheme over there to fly here. Any last minute questions?
Could they also use the Global Partnership Awards as well?
Yeah, but in that case, students can't apply. So you can use with the Global Partnership Award, but then in that case, it should be a lecturer, a staff member applying. Okay. Thank you for coming. If you have any other questions, please just drop me an email or give me a call. Thank you.